It's 11:45 p.m. on a Wednesday. The neighborhood is asleep, but inside the brokerage, there's a solitary blue glow coming from a monitor. Real estate is a dynamic business. Every closed deal means weeks of negotiation, changing terms, and human hustle. Yet when it comes time to calculate the rewards for all that kinetic energy, the industry relies on a completely rigid tool, the spreadsheet. A grid of cells is ultimately just a passive filing cabinet. It doesn't anticipate a closing date, it can't double-check your math, and it certainly won't tap you on the shoulder when a complex variable changes. It only knows exactly what you tell it. Because the software can't monitor the incoming data, that job falls entirely on the person staring at the screen. You have to manually scan every single row, mentally cross-referencing individual agent agreements against their current production totals. This creates a highly fragile environment. If you accidentally skip a line or hit a 4 instead of a 5, the error doesn't just sit there. It quietly rolls forward, throwing off the splits on the next deal and the one after that. Managing dynamic sales data with static grids guarantees systemic failure. It forces brokerage leaders to spend their nights acting as exhausted human calculators, rather than proactively running their teams. We can see why these systems fracture by looking at 3 routine commission variables that trigger Excel hell. Consider the commission cap. Agent A hits their cap, crossing the limit line, but the grid stays silent. Without an alert, they are underpaid. Next, the tiered split. Agent B's income passes $50,000, but the spreadsheet's equation stays statically locked at a 70-30 ratio. Fixing this requires manual intervention. The broker must personally remember that the $50,000 threshold exists for Agent B, locate the specific cell, and manually rewrite the formula to reflect the new tier. Those manual adjustments inevitably lead to our third variable, human error. When a broker is handwriting formulas for dozens of agent plans at midnight, mistakes happen. The direct result is Agent C walking into the office the very next morning to angrily dispute an incorrect paycheck. Without automatic flags, every unique agent deal becomes an operational trap. It turns what should be a straightforward payday into a hostile negotiation. Full-service automated accounting integration replaces the passive grid with algorithmic triggers that handle these variables without human scanning. Real-time closing data enters a central hub, automatically splitting into proportion streams. When Agent A hits their cap, the system instantly redirects all funds to their pathway. For Agent B, crossing the $50,000 trigger automatically adjusts the split ratio, no human scanning required. Because the software handles the rewriting of its own equations, the primary source of operational friction is removed. The gap where manual entry introduces human error is permanently closed. By handing the calculation burden over to the algorithm, the broker's role shifts. They stop hunting for data changes and transition into simply approving the system's accuracy. The immediate impact of this shift is mathematical accuracy. Without manual formula adjustments, those uncomfortable morning conversations about disputed paychecks disappear. It also guarantees strict, on-time payments for the entire roster. This predictability builds operational trust and drives agent retention over the long term. Beyond the balance sheet, this integration provides something more valuable, true time reclamation for brokerage leadership. Automated accounting buys back the midnight hours that were previously sacrificed to the spreadsheet. Escaping the static grid allows brokers to abandon the mechanics of commission math. They can take that reclaimed energy and redirect it